Hi, folks, and welcome to episode 251 of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. You've made it over 250, so we can continue on into the far reaches of the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're really over that, 250 hump, aren't we? That most podcasts share.
Exactly. Like, most podcasts, they stall out at 250. They stall out before 250, but you know what? The Video Game Choo Choo podcast has been going on for 250 numbered episodes, mind. Who knows how many episodes? We've probably done other ones. We've probably done,
There's,
I don't even know.
There's probably, 260-something between, Game of the Years and, E3 specials and stuff. Right?
That's true. But either way, we're going to keep it going for as long as we can. Because that's what chooches do.
This is a really important week.
Is it?
John, especially for you, because it was Mewtwo's birthday this week.
Ah.
That is true. Everyone, we're a couple of days late for the podcast, but of course, everyone on Twitter was tweeting about it. Yeah, big happy birthday to the best Pokemon, Mewtwo, out there, throwing shadow balls, teleporting, talking about equality.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what Mewtwo does.
What did you get him for his birthday?
I got him a couple of wins in Smash Bros.
Nice.
That's what I got. That's what I always get him. You know how it goes.
Every year, get him a big W.
Yeah, and my other birthday promise is that one of these days I will get a shiny Mewtwo, and when that happens, that'll be the day that I shit and fly away, because that'll be good. But yeah, so it's me, John, and this week I am joined by Solon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm here.
And Niall.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good now that both of you are here.
Aw.
So then how's it going for you? Are you, trapped at the moment? Or are you okay?
Hey, yeah. Seattle right now is under 4 inches of snow, and we're expecting another 5 tonight.
Nice.
Which is the most I've ever had in my lifetime. Which would be weird, except this is the second time this has happened this week. So we got double snowed, and I honestly don't know. I look outside, and all I see is just white, and I'm like, what? It's just allowed to stay there?
Yeah, it's a real weird feeling seeing snow just stick. The one winter I lived in Canada, we just had, because we were shoveling the snow out from our driveway and just throwing it into the backyard. We just had a 7-8 foot high pile of snow that was there into April or May before it melted. And it was oh, okay, this is just, it's the world's worst snowman. Just
Mr. Snowman.
Yeah. Mr. Police. I'm still not melted. It's May.
The clues will never be discovered because they're all under the snow.
The 8-foot pile of snow that always persists is pretty scenic.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a real bad time. It was right outside my window, too, so I would just, look outside every morning and just see this, giant pile of snow blocking my view. It was terrible. I hated it.
Oh, my God. The weird thing about snow, and I don't know if anyone really has talked about this before, but, it's white.
Mm-hmm.
It is bright white.
Uh-huh.
And so every time I come out of my garage, which is just a cave, it's just darkness inside, I am blinded. I'm used to overcast days, everything being gray and green, and I open my door and I'm looking into the Ark of the Covenant, ah!
I'm sorry to both of you, but big can't relate vibes from here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're more used to having your house ripped apart by the wind or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I'm usually more terrified during the summer season. That is when it gets overbearingly hot, and when the tornadoes and hurricanes come around. That's when it gets bad. I mean, I'll be honest. I love winter. I like the cold, obviously in reasonable amounts. Like, you know, I went up north for Thanksgiving, and that was fine. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a normal amount of snow, but I don't think that anything more than that should happen ever. But, you know, that's what happens when shit keeps getting worse in the atmosphere. I
kind of want to say that, but I try to be a little optimistic about it, because the last time that we had a big snow was like 5 years ago, in April. And so Seattle just is, we have like 3 hashtags for it going right now, and one of them is hashtag Seattle Snowpocalypse 2019, which is very misleading, because there's not going to be another snow next year. Or maybe there will be, and there'll be like 5 of them. There's just no telling.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. But I am glad to hear that both of you are safe, and I hope all of our listeners are safe and warm. And I mean, honestly, I hope as many people as possible are safe and warm. That's the big hope.
John's big hope.
John's big hope. But right now, we are here to entertain your ears and your brains with our intellect and our wit about video games. Because that's what's good on the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Niall.
Hi.
You've been playing some games.
I've been playing a couple of games.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've both been playing the same game, that Resident Evil 2. You're on that grind.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I just finished it last night. It was like, I played it in such like a broken up way, because I I ran through all of Leon's the weekend it came out, and then I got like most of the way through Claire's last weekend, but then I couldn't have time to finish it, so I was like chipping away all week for like half an hour here and there at Claire's, but I wound up really, really liking that game a lot. I think it is up there with like Resident Evil 7 as probably one of my favorite games in that series. Like it's just it's a really good example of making a game from 1998 in 2019. You know, like the quality of life improvements to it are like so massive, and like obviously the like differences in it are significant, but yet it still feels like an old game and like an old Resident Evil game, which is what I was hoping it would do, because I mean, I like Resident Evil 4, I like that style that they pivoted to, but I really wanted just that slightly cumbersome, slightly like awkward old style Resident Evil game, but like modernized, and I think they did a really, really good job of it. Yeah.
Is there any parts specifically that kind of take you back to that 1998 kind of style that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like, so I don't know how familiar you are with those old games, Solon, but excuse me, but like the old Resident Evil games had a lot of, you know, odd ways of gating off sections of the map. You know, it was like, oh, you need the key that looks like a heart to get into this room, and you have to get into this room by finding the 3 medallions and unlocking them using puzzles. You know, it's that very like strange, weird, like puzzle solving, I guess. So they kept all that kind of stuff intact, but they just sort of streamlined it and modernized it. Like, one of the big things that this new game does is when you open your map, it'll show you a room, and like you look at a room on the map and it's either red or blue. And if it's red, that means there's still stuff in that room for you to find. And if it's blue, it means you've got everything that's in that room, which is a really small change, but it's a really significant change that really just makes the game more fun, I guess.
That's amazing. That actually completely changes how you think about the rooms that you enter.
Right, because like in the original Resident Evil 2, or like the old style of Resident Evil games, there was a lot of that sort of back and forth. What do I need to do next? Like, what did I read earlier? Like, what was that one line of dialogue that I saw written down somewhere that told me what I needed to do next and that I can't remember? So now I got to interact with everything I can find to find the thing I need to do this and that. And this is just like a really good way of communicating things to you visually that, you know, the older games never took into account, and that helps to make the experience just smoother and better, I find. Yeah, like, it's still, like, I really enjoyed that they went back to very much the, you know, scarcity of ammo, like, survival horror aspects of those old games. 'Cause, I mean, you know, 4 through 6 were basically action games, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, like, there were parts of 6 that were straight up, like, cover shooters, basically, I guess, you'd call them. Like, so, moving back to that old style is something that they kind of did well, they did with Resident Evil 7, but, like, it's something that I very much associate with the older original games in that series, and I think it really works well in the environment that they've crafted for this new one. And it's scary, you know, like, it does a really good job at creating atmosphere and tension and sort of playing with your expectations in a really good way. Like, I think it was Scott talked about it a couple of weeks ago on the show, where he was like, oh, I opened this locker and a body fell out, and I thought the body would get up, but it didn't. It was just dead. You know, like, it plays with your expectations of everything in a really great way.
The old limp body staying dead routine.
Yeah, like, because the game trains you up until that point to not like think of any dead body as actually dead, you know?
Yeah,
like,
until you have made sure it's dead.
Yeah, you know, like, you sort of, especially in that first run, like, in that first, you know, 2 hours or so that you're playing the game, you sort of get into a habit of seeing these dead bodies and saying, can I spare a bullet here just to shoot it in the head and see if it gets up? You know, like, you'd be surprised how often it happens that you'll just shoot a limp body and it'll stand up and come at you. So, like, it does a really good job at messing with you that way. And I found in, like, the second run of the game, because, you know, you play as Leon and then you play as Claire, or Claire and then Leon, and playing as Leon, when Mr. X shows up for the first time, it's sort of like, it kind of telegraphs it in a little bit, I think. Like, John, I don't know if you felt the same way, where, like, when Mr. X showed up, you were like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, here he is, oh fuck.
Yeah, because it sends you down a very straight hallway where you just, okay, I'm gonna have to figure out if something starts to come at me, I have to figure out a way around that. And then it also kind of gates you off with the helicopter. Right. So you're walking up there and you're just like, oh, something's gonna happen, and then he just he shoves the helicopter away and you're just like, here's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. But playing through it the second time as Claire, I was just walking down a hallway, and then all of a sudden, with no sound cues, with no expectation, with no nothing, he just comes around the corner, and I was like, oh fuck, there he is. Like, it just took me by surprise in such a good way, because I was expecting for him to be over where the helicopter was, and nope, here he is, like, an hour earlier than that, and he's just coming for me now, and that's not good.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I think, like, Mr. X is great, and, you know, he is a really effective way to keep you on your toes and to build tension, and there is nothing worse than being in a room and hearing Mr. X walking around outside, opening every door and looking in to see if he can spot you. Like, it is extremely scary and extremely just like tense. So I think he's great. But he is also, I think, kind of my biggest problem with where Resident Evil goes from here in some way. Because there was leaks a couple of months ago that suggested that Resident Evil 3 was being remade and that it was actively like in production. But playing Resident Evil 2 after Resident Evil 7 came out, it made me just want like a break from that formula of having a large chunk of the game be based around trying to avoid a big angry bastard who you can't kill, basically, because Resident Evil 7 did that with Jack, and then this game does it with Mr. X. And I don't know if, like, in a year and a half, I want to go straight to having to do that with Nemesis again. I would, I think, prefer them to, like, do Resident Evil 8 or do some other kind of side thing and do something completely new and then come back to it with Nemesis, as opposed to going straight into that, because I don't know if you can do that 3 times in a row and still, like, have it hit for me, but I don't know how you feel.
That's a good point, and don't people feel a soft spot for Nemesis from the third game?
Nemesis,
so wouldn't you want to protect that?
Nemesis is like the classic stalker character, and like honestly, it's surprising because Mr. X was never as big of a threat as he. Like he wasn't as much of the like big lumbering, like constant.
Yeah,
as he is in this remake. Like he showed up in the original, but not as much as he does now. So it does seem like really obvious that, hey, Mr. X in this remake is probably a dry run for Nemesis.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you spend a good 50% of that game just like running from Mr. X, basically.
Yeah. And like people do love Nemesis, and you know, people are going to be excited to see him. But there is also just like what Niall said. Yeah, it's been very similar. It's a very similar kind of gameplay loop, and I think Resident Evil 2 does it fantastically. Yeah. And I'm sure if they go straight to 3, it'll still be good. But it's like, you know, it's kind of a diminishing returns thing, and it's just the shine. You lose the sparkle a little bit. But if you do put something in between that, yeah, if they do make 8 in between there, and they do something more. Like not action oriented, but just like maybe make the levels more like Resident Evil 4, where you're just progressing through areas and you're not just in one space where you're getting chased around by one thing, or just make it more like 1 where you have a condensed space, but you're traveling around and you know you're not getting chased by something. I do think that the chasers need to be a little chilled out.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is just, like you said, diminishing returns, you know, because, I mean, there's only so many ways that they can have a big angry guy or, you know, just burst out of nowhere at you and scare the shit out of you before you kind of learn to expect it. Like, that's what Resident Evil 2 does really well with Mr. X at times, is that he'll just show up and you'll be like, oh, shit. Or Resident Evil 7 did it really well with Jack, where you'd be, like, there was literally a part in that game where you would walk down the hallway outside the living room and he would literally just, like the Kool-Aid Man, burst through the living room wall and grab you. Like, they gotta find something new, I think, to do with Nemesis. Like, they can't just make him Mr. X all over again, which is kind of what I'm worried they will do. So yeah, I would like at least a break to do something, anything, like whether you want to bring in a whole new character like they did for Resident Evil 7 and, you know, like tell a story outside, another story outside of like the characters that we've come to know over the past 20 years, or if you want to do, like, you could do a whole game on like what the fuck is Ada up to during like all those times when she's not just like hanging out behind Leon and being a pain in his ass or whatever. You know, like, they have so many holes that they could fill in that story that I think it would benefit them as a series to do that first.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I've got a proposition for you. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about Resident Evil other than what you said, because they're scary games, and I'm scared of scary games. Mm-hmm. But Resident Evil 3 Remake, let's keep going with this.
Okay.
Nemesis is here. Nemesis shows up, and you're like, oh, all right, big bastard time. I'm ready for this. I've been training for the last 2 Resident Evil games that came out. But you see he's holding something, and you're like, Nemesis, what's that? He opens his hand, and it's a little tiny Nemesis in his hand.
Oh,
and
shit.
He just sets it on the ground, and it starts running right at you.
Oh.
And Nemesis just crosses his arms and laughs like he just solved the whole puzzle.
So Nemesis would be like Killer Queen, and the tiny Nemesis would be sheer heart attack.
Absolutely. It's exactly what I just described.
Damn.
Except this is a video game, so this little tiny Nemesis is actually on screen, and you just watch him try to run around and catch you. And he can't fly at you because he's still stuck to the ground. He's still Nemesis. Nemesis doesn't fly.
I will be honest. Now that I mention sheer heart attack, like, honestly, a Resident Evil Stalker character being based around body heat or something would actually be really interesting if you, like, had to, like, light things on fire, and then it was like, oh, I lit this curtain on fire. It's only going to be on fire for a certain amount of time, so I have to get out of here while it's busy with the that would be neat. That would be an interesting way to do it if they were blind other than body heat.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Anyway, Capcom, hello. I'm John. I can send you my resume. It's all good. Okay, so Solon, what have you been playing? You had an event recently.
Yeah.
I mean, the world had an event recently, and it sure shook me to my core. I finished Kingdom Hearts 3. Mm-hmm. That was what I did all last weekend. And so Saturday we finished it. We played it until we beat it. And it took, what was the final number? 30 hours, I believe.
That's not too bad. I mean, for Kingdom Hearts, that's not too bad. I was expecting like 80 hours for that game. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Playing it front to back, we beat it in 33 hours. Is what I got for a final count. And that was with a 6-hour kind of distraction to get the Ultima Blade and get all of the components for the Ultima Blade.
Did you 100% it? Because I know that Rose is... I know she finished it. I think she did 100% of everything, and I would have to ask her what her hours are, but did you get everything you could?
We got to the maximum parts of everything we could. So like every little side quest that was like kind of a big side quest, we got to the end of that. That doesn't mean we 100%ed it and picked up like everything along the way, but like all the numbered collectible things, the hidden Mickeys and stuff, that's all part of the Ultima Blade creation.
Okay then. Okay, I think that counts then. Yeah, alright then. So if you're doing everything, it'll be about a 35 hour game. Okay.
Yeah. It was actually pretty manageable.
Yeah, that's for an RPG today. Like that's like a normal amount of hours.
Yeah.
I don't think we didn't get all the summons. There were a couple little things here and there we missed, but yeah, it was definitely a big game.
So how are you feeling about it now that you're about a week divorced from it?
A week, I just keep like, it's that big game feeling that you get where you're like flipping back and forth between like, God, I loved that thing. God, I hated that other thing. Mm-hmm. God, I loved that. And I'm just all over the place with just feelings after Kingdom Hearts 3, still a week divorced from it.
Mm-hmm. No spoilers, but how do you feel about that secret ending?
God, it's so weird. It's so weird. Why did they make that for me? I didn't ask for it. They made a secret ending specifically for me. I'm not a big fan of Square Enix stuff. I'm not a big fan of Disney stuff. Mm-hmm. But the things that they made it for were specifically for the one game that is my favorite game of all time.
There you go.
And I don't it's not a series that I ever expect anyone to revisit, but now this is the second time it's come up this year, and I'm like, what? I didn't ask for this. I'm very happy and confused.
No more illusions. We don't want to give anything away, but
very happy and I'm very confused.
It's wild. I watched as soon as the secret ending got uploaded to YouTube, because I've played most of Kingdom Hearts 1 and half of 2, and so I just watched the secret ending and I was just like, that's pretty dumb. All right.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
The lowest point is, and this I'm just going to spoil a part of it in a way that it was
Tread
spoiled
lightly.
for. Yeah. I'm giving you that big warning. Skip ahead 50 seconds because this will be quick. But the biggest thing was that I was talking to my friend. He had just bought it, and we were 30 hours into it. He picked it up, he played through the first level, and he asked the most important question that is on a lot of Kingdom Hearts people's minds when they play the first level. Hey, are there any Square Enix characters in this Square Enix game? To which the answer is no. And when he heard that, he said, okay, got in his car, and returned the game. Because
I don't really understand why you would be so hung up on that part, but I do think it is kind of crazy that they integrated Squall and Yuffie and Eris. They combined those characters into Kingdom Hearts really well, and for them to not show up the Kingdom Hearts 3, the big ending of the series, and they're not going to let you fight Sephiroth one more time, that's kind of crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing, was he was actually looking for an ending to that storyline, or at least some kind of resolution to the Squall storyline, because he's a huge Final Fantasy VIII fan. And so that was picked up in Kingdom Hearts 2. It didn't come back in Kingdom Hearts 3, so he's like, all right, if that's happening, if a couple of the other things that happen in the game, which were also there's a couple things in there that I just really disagreed with, happened, he was like, all right, this isn't for me. I'm not going to bang my head against this. I'm going to go back to playing Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. My game's coming out next week, or whenever DMC5 drops. And so he left it at that. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Right. He didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get to see Mickey Mouse and Gladiolus team up, finally.
Oh, that would be cool. I was expecting that. I'm actually still surprised that. Yeah,
I'm really shocked that at the very least the Final Fantasy 15 boys didn't show up. That's really weird.
Yeah,
I wanted Prompto to be there and take some pictures with Sora. That would be so good.
Fucking imagine Ignis cooking with Remy.
Oh,
why didn't that happen? Come on.
So yeah, there's a lot of little things like that. Pete, my favorite Kingdom Hearts character, did not have a lot of screen time. Actually, the very bare minimum, and that's fine. But oh my god, the people that are there in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's 3 main plots kind of intersecting and interweaving between all of the levels that you go through. So you beat a level, and while you're beating that level, one of 3 plots is kind of going along the way, and so you're always exploring something that was revisited 2 or 3 hours before, and so it always feels fresh. It always oh wow, right, I almost forgot that this is happening too, and that's happening. Just the pacing was really good and made sense, because I think it's supposed to feel like it's episodic. A lot of people I've been watching stream it are streaming it level by level, which is about a 3-hour chunk, and it makes a lot of sense. Really well paced.
All right, well, thank you so much for the Kingdom Hearts update. Probably next week there's going to be at least one other person that plays through Kingdom Hearts, and you know how it goes.
Can we talk about endings then? Because I got some juice.
How about you talk to Rose and see if you two want to do a spoiler cast? People might want to listen to that.
Oh, that's a thing people do. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an actual thing for this in podcasting. Oh, that's cool. All right.
No,
I like that idea.
Spoiler or no promises, because I just threw that out there. But you two should talk.
Okay.
Alright, so, I mean, I haven't really been playing too much new. You know, I played Resident Evil more. I played some Spyro because I wanted to play Spyro. Played Xenoblade. I played Smash Bros. Because, of course.
Yep.
But I guess the newest thing that I could talk about, and again, I feel like the actual expert on this will discuss this again, because this month is like Rose's month for games, so, like...
Yeah.
She'll come in and talk about DMC5 in more detail, but I did play the demo, which is maybe 15 minutes long, give or take. It's good. I mean, there's a couple of things that I had to get used to. Like, I might actually play through it again just to see if I can do better, because I ran through it and I got an A rank. I don't know if the best is S or like triple S or whatever the fuck, but I don't know.
I think it's quadruple S now.
Well,
I think there's 4 S's now.
It's just a Z now. Like,
yeah,
Z.
Super sexy smoking style. That's probably what it is. Yeah, knowing how DMC is. Yeah, I don't have a history with Devil May Cry, so I can't really compare it to other games, but I can compare it to other character action games like Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising. And I will say that it felt a little bit more clunky than they do. Like Bayonetta and Revengeance, at least in my mind's eye, I feel like they're a little bit more quick on the draw. Maybe that is because they kind of have they have dodges and blocks more built into how the gameplay works. And I feel like Devil May Cry is more about grappling. At least Devil May Cry 5 is. I feel like it kind of wants you to jump and then grapple onto enemies to kind of pull yourself away from danger. And I was able to do that a little bit, but there were times where sometimes because the controls are triangle is your melee attack, square is your gun, X is jump, and O is because you're playing as Nero, and Nero has his like robot arms, and he cycles through them by you can like just like they have a certain amount of ammo in them, or you can press L1 and that will just expend it. Like you'll do like a super move with it, and then it like blows up, and then you have to put another one on. But the way that you do like grapple moves is you have to press like I forget if it's L1 or R1, but you have to press one of those buttons and O. So there were times where I was in the middle of, like, fighting an enemy and I wanted to grapple over to somebody else because, like, they were about to hit me or something, and I would just end up using the arm move, and I wouldn't even really be aiming at somebody because I would be, like, pushing the control stick towards another enemy. So I would just waste some of that ammo, and then I would get hit. And it only happened a couple of times, but I was still like, man, that just feels kind of weird, because I was pressing, like, R2 and L2, and they didn't really do anything, so I kind of wish that one of those buttons was just like a dodge or something. But it still played pretty nicely. I still felt like I enjoyed it. Like, if I kept playing, I kept chipping at it, I could probably get better at it. You press in the touchpad to do taunts.
Nice.
So I would, like, when I fought the boss in the demo, what I would basically do is I would start slashing at him at, like, the legs, and then once he started swinging around, like, trying to hit me, I would jump up and start doing some attacks in the air, and then I would taunt, and, like, Nero's taunt in the air is he does, like, a surfer, like, or a skater, like, does, like, kind of like a ha-ha kind of deal on his sword, and that pushes him up a little bit. So then I keep attacking, like, and that actually helps you dodge a move, and then I would grapple and then, like, hit him in the face a bunch, and then you just kind of rotate through that. Like, it's all about just keeping that momentum, and it was fun. It was really fun, but...
Everything you described is exactly what I know from Devil May Cry, so... Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. It felt like if you're expecting more Devil May Cry... and you understand how those games play, and if this all sounds good to you, then you will absolutely love this. Like, I mean, you've already downloaded the demo. I don't need to tell you, but for those of you on the fence, maybe do just check out the demo and see what's up, because that seems like a great snapshot of what this game is. But It's neat. I'm probably not going to buy it immediately because like I played through the demo and I was just like, yeah, that's okay. I have other games I want to play, but no, I'll definitely get to it by the end of the year. I definitely want to play through it maybe once it's a little cheaper because it was fun.
That's so cool.
Let's see here. What else has been going on? There's all kinds of shit that's going on. It's a crazy time out there. They're updating Ion Maiden, Niall?
Yeah, so, like, I talked about it a year ago when it hit early access, and when it was in early access originally, it was sort of like, they were saying, here's one, like, level, and it's just, like, the preview build, and there'll be nothing else until the full game comes out in a year. But they basically added a second level to it. The full game is due out, I think, in the next couple of months, but it's still, it's still really fucking good. It is Duke Nukem 3D, but without Duke in it. Essentially, it is the successor to Duke Nukem 3D that the game deserves, and that includes not having Duke.
I'm sold.
Yeah, so it's on the same engine as Duke 3D. It's made by the same people that made Duke 3D. It is that game, except with a fresh coat of paint, and it's really fucking good. It has all the things that you want in one of these sort of old retro style shooters. I think it may be one of the better, okay, it's probably a little early to say it's one of the better ones because it's not out yet, but if Dusk is sort of the version of Quake that you want in 2019, I think there's a good chance that Ion Maiden is the version of Duke you want in 2019.
Yeah.
There's some really good fucking weapons. There's, the shotgun is great. That's the most important thing in a game like this is how does that shotgun feel? She rattles off some of the worst one-liners you could possibly have.
Yes, good.
There's some of I can't remember what it was exactly, but there was definitely a part where she said a meme where I was like, that meme is like 10 years old. Okay, this is like exactly what it needs to be. Because that's what Ion Maiden should be. It shouldn't be funny. It should think it's funny, but it's not. Or the character should think.
If it says a meme from today,
yeah,
no. If it says like peanut butter jelly time, now it's timeless.
Yeah.
Don't dab, Ion Maiden.
Yeah,
that's not you.
I actually remember, like, when she said whatever the line was, I was like, oh, that's like in Duke Forever when he said pork chop sandwiches. Like, that was what went through my head. It's great so far. I'm really, really excited to see what it winds up being when it's finished. I think they've said that there's a multiplayer beta on the way soon, so I'm excited to see what Duke Match is in 2019. I'm hoping to see our good friend of the site, Slasher Z. I'm hoping he'll be around for it.
Oh my god, please. I want to see the serious slashers take over Maiden Match.
Yeah, I would love that. I still can't believe that, they actually managed to make something out of Bombshell after all. Because that game sucked. That game was really bad. And they wisely went, okay, what if we just made Duke again? And now it works. So I'm very excited to see where it goes.
Absolutely.
They picked the right parts to build off of this time.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the character like they thought it was. It was more about the world and the
gameplay.
Yeah.
The gameplay, the interactions you can do in the world.
Yeah, the feel had to be right, and switching it from like a weird isometric RPG shooter to just Duke 3D in like a modern resolution is exactly what it needed to be. So fingers crossed for it.
Don't fix what isn't broke, but definitely fix the whole Duke Nukem thing being in your game.
Yeah.
Because that one kind of might be broke.
I I hold out hope that at some point in that game, John St. John is going to show up. Like, we're going to hear that voice on some character. Like, I hope so. You know,
he played like the general or something in Bombshell.
Yeah, he
was a character in Bombshell.
He was the main antagonist in Bombshell. Yeah, and he was like the only halfway decent voice performance in that game. But I want him to do some, like, just do the Duke voice, even if it's just like in passing for like one line as one character or as a boss or something. Just do the voice.
Or they'll just do what they do in all of those classic FPS games, where she'll come across his corpse and she'll go, somebody ripped off his head and shit down his neck, or something like that.
Yeah, I actually thought that was about to happen at one point in what I played, because I found a secret area and I thought I saw just like a corpse of a character, but it was actually an enemy that's like a head on robotic spider legs. But just from a distance, I was like, "Oh, are we going to get the doomed Space Marine line?" But we didn't.
Hey, can you explain a couple more of these enemies in words? Because that was awesome.
Yeah.
What else is there besides a head on spider legs?
Well, there's also a head that flies around on a drone.
Excellent.
Yeah. So there's a lot of weird like dudes in sort of like cyberpunkish, very brightly colored, like wizard robes, I guess you would call them. So far, there isn't, or I haven't seen that great an enemy variety, but like what there is so far is really good.
They're still working on it.
Yeah, they're still working on it, and like it, but it feels like they still have some stuff up their sleeve, you know. Like,
and this is a interesting kind of angle to the question. Can you light things on fire?
You can, yes. You can blow up walls.
Excellent.
You have a really good projectile, which is it's like a bowling ball, but it's a bomb. So you just like you just roll it like a bowling ball, and it automatically explodes if it hits like something it can blow up or an enemy. But if it doesn't, like, you can just pick it back up. It's a great weapon. Yeah, you know.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, they have like a weird crossbow that's like almost got like semi-automatic fire for somehow, even though it's a crossbow. She's like, I don't know.
It's that quick.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking great. I hope it delivers on the promise that it's shown so far.
All right. Solon, there was a big game that came out this week.
A really big game came out this week.
Yeah, there was just the one.
It came out on Origin. EA's putting it together. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's got a lot of really cool movement options. It's called Anthem. It's coming out in a couple days.
Oh,
sorry. You wanted to talk about Epic. I wrote down
Epic.
Epics.
Yeah, we're talking about Epic
Apex.
Games. Fortnite is EA now.
You want to talk about Apex? Do we want to talk about Apex? Because I could go on for hours just on...
I'll give you 10 minutes. How about that?
All right, the 10-minute version. Me and Krill Factor are little babies playing it for our first time. Mm-hmm. We got ourselves killed real bad in a skirmish.
Yep.
Chris ran away and fled from the scene because Chris was outnumbered. And the Circle of Doom that is in every Battle Royale game descended on us, so everyone fled that scene, including the people who killed us. And their job was done, so they left. Chris came back. He ran through the heated circle of death to take the dog tags that are on our corpses and fed them into the revival receptacle, brought us back to life. And we came back to taking like 4th place as a team.
Yeah.
Chris is a hero.
It's a really, like, I played it for about 15 minutes. I don't know if you're playing it on... Are you playing it on PC, did you say?
Yeah, this is we're doing PC.
Yeah, okay.
But it's on everything.
Yeah, I should download the PC version then, because like my immediate feeling on it playing on PS4 was this feels great. This seems like a really cool video game. I do not want to play it with random people because you can only play squads.
No.
So
yes,
it's
full of all these fun little stories.
Yeah.
Every time that I play it with everyone I play it with, I played it for two rounds with Janie today, and she had to disconnect midway through our match, and so we just defended her body for as long as we could. And by defending it, I mean we closed all of the doors in the room that we were in and just stayed there until we died.
Nice. That's the Battle Royale experience. And
we got fourth that round also, so it just keeps on coming.
Nice. Who are you playing as? What character?
I'm playing as Chappie. I'm playing as the robot that I've called Chappie. I don't even know what its actual name is. It's just the nice robot because they have grapples, and I really like grappling places.
That's right. They have the zip line as their ultimate, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I've used the zip line I've never used the zip line to zip. I have only used it to line, and by that I mean I'll throw a zip line out somewhere to tell enemies where we are, and then we set up traps everywhere on the other side of the zip line.
Nice. Yeah, I played as, I think the character's name is Lifeline for the couple of rounds I played.
Yeah.
Just because, I tend to gravitate to healers and support characters anyway, so it was nice to have, because, I got put into a squad with two people who were already level 30 when I was for my first game, so I was oh god, I need to be able to contribute somehow, so I'll just pick the healer because I was going to pick her anyway. And yeah, I had a good time with it. I think a lot of the stuff just that they do around the edges of it is very smart and very it the ping system, and just the contextual interactions that you have, the fact that characters are constantly just calling stuff out to each other is just a tremendously smart way to streamline and to give you the information you need that other battle royale games are kind of terrible at giving you.
Right. There's an optimization to it where one button for PC, the left mouse button click, is the one that does the damaging things, does Hurties. The middle mouse button is all of your callouts. Anything that you highlight, you can point to that and be hey, that's a thing. And if you hold that mouse button, it'll give you a big wheel. It gives you all the options of things that you could ping if you wanted to ping something else. And so between those two buttons, you can pretty much control whatever, all of the things that you would normally have to do in a battle royale mode, yourself.
Right.
By speaking over Discord or something to your team. Now it's just there. It's automated, and it levels the playing field for everyone. Even the times that I've played with randos, it's actually really easy to pick up a team and not have to be on voice to rally your people.
Right.
Because it was just really easy.
Because, that's the big problem with playing with randos, right? Is you don't want to talk to them ever. So
no,
they found a really smart way around that. Different games do it in different ways. Dead by Daylight, you just can't communicate with people. In this, having a system that makes sense and that they've clearly thought out and thought of every potential use case for, that you can just ping and have it contextually know what you mean because it knows what you're looking at, is very, very smart and a very good way of overcoming a limitation that I think would drive a lot of people ordinarily away from the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I really like as well that when you drop at the start, just one person controls everybody. At least yes. At first, I know you can break away, but it helps to, because one of the things that's always bothered me when I've played squads with friends in PUBG or whatever has been trying to get everybody on the same page enough to ensure that even if you put a marker down on the map, you don't know if everybody's gonna be able to get there because maybe somebody goes straight down too fast or maybe somebody overshoots it. So having one person just be in control of that is another just just a smart way of keeping everything together, and it feels like, because it's a Respawn game, it feels like Respawn really like thought about what works about their games and about stuff like Titanfall, and just really figured out a really smart way to consolidate it into this completely other like style of game, and it works really well from what I can see.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the overwhelming feeling that I've had talking with everyone is just that they were surprised, first of all.
Yeah.
Everything about it has been a surprise. It came out of nowhere, seemingly. I mean, it came from Respawn, and we know Respawn for quality work. Mm-hmm. And so it's not necessarily a surprise that it is quality work, but it is surprise because of the genre that it's in, because we haven't heard about it at all. There's been no advertisement for Apex or anything, just out of the blue.
Yeah,
3 days ago.
It kind of leaked last week because they had like an influencer event, and there was some rumors going around that like, hey, Respawn are announcing some kind of battle royale, but nobody really was saying what exactly it was, or like no.
And how do you necessarily take that seriously when there's there's an influencer event every week for some battle royale game that someone is making?
Right, exactly. But I don't think anyone expected it to be as colorful as it is, to have the personality it has, or to make the changes that it's made to a pretty tired formula at this point that have really got people talking about it in a way that like people haven't talked about one of these games since Fortnite blew up, you know?
What I see is that the restraint that the designers show in this game is what adds to the polish.
Right, exactly.
That there are 8 characters total. I think only 6 are playable, and then 2 you have to unlock.
Yes.
Then there's the guns. There's 6 classes of guns. Each of them have 3 subclasses, and that's probably the like bulkiest part of the game. But there's 6 of them, and you can kind of organize yourself around those 6 guns.
Right. But it even kind of like does that for you with the guns, you know, like the way, like it kind of auto drops attachments or add-ons that, you know, aren't compatible with a new weapon that you're picking up if you're dropping a gun that has 2 attachments on it, and one will work on this new gun and one won't, it'll just automatically equip the one that will, and it'll get rid of the rest. Like it's everything in your inventory with an X over it you are not using in any way and cannot use right now, so you can just drop it if you wanted to, or you can keep it for later. Yeah, and it's great. Like it's a very like it's the kind of thing that you look at and go, how come nobody else has done this yet? You know, like it's one of those kind of games.
And that's why I'm saying it's because they are showing restraint.
Yes.
In every other battle royale game that comes out, developers won't necessarily show restraint because they're trying to make the biggest, flashiest thing that they can. And the success story here is that because Respawn is such a veteran development team, they know what is good to put in a game and what is out of scope and not necessary. What is cruff that they can cut away. And it shows here.
Right.
And it also is showing in their bottom line, because Anthem is not the thing that was picking up EA's sales. All of a sudden, Apex comes out of nowhere, and I don't know if you saw the tweet this morning, but the stocks skyrocketed in response to Apex.
Yeah, and it's like it's such weird timing for Apex to come out as well, like because they have Anthem coming out in like a week, 2 weeks. The Battlefield 5 Battle Royale is due out any day now. So like EA putting like this free-to-play Battle Royale game out when it has its big like Destiny-like coming out and another Battle Royale for a, you know, established series on the way soon, like is a big thing.
It's brilliant. I'm not much of a money person, but like that's the reason that you see the stock skyrocket, is not just because Apex is good, but there's also the promise of even more to come. Yeah, I just kind of wonder, are they going to wind up eating their own lunch a little bit, you know? Or I wonder that too, yeah. Or is there hope that, well, Apex is free, so it's going to attract a different audience to what Anthem is going to attract,
which is going to attract a different audience than what Battlefield attracts. Like, is there hope that they're going to have 3 very distinct shooters that are each going to attract different audiences? Or are they kind of looking at it like, you know, just make money any way we can because we're EA and that's all we really care about is making money and we don't care how...
That's a good point, too. I think the most surprising thing is all of a sudden a bunch of people are using Origin.
Yeah.
They're all becoming friends with each other on Origin, and that's going to drive Origin subscription service stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And when you buy the subscription, you get the games, too.
Yeah.
Including Anthem.
And I believe that they might have a sale on for it at the moment. Like, their premium subscription Game Pass thing is like $1 this month, I think, maybe, to try and at least on Origin to try and like get people in on that. Yeah, it's wild because I know that we on here said 3 weeks ago, like, what the hell is EA doing? What the hell are these AAA companies doing? Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. And now I'm like, yeah, I'll eat my lunch on that one. They suddenly came out of nowhere to put a good thing together.
Yeah. Like, I might open Origin again for the first time since... When did I last open it? Maybe for Mass Effect, which was...
For Mass Effect 3 was me.
Yeah,
yep.
For Mass Effect Andromeda, I think, was... And before that, it was like Mirror's Edge, so...
Oh, that's right!
Yeah, like, EA hasn't done a great job at promoting Origin, but, like, I saw Janie tweeting yesterday, I think, like something along the lines of, I can't believe I'm using Origin in 2019. You know, like, people are actually talking about Origin now, and, you know, maybe it helps drive Anthem sales, or maybe Anthem dies a death. But, like, who knows?
All I know is all my friends are streaming it right now. All my Twitch and Mixer folks, they are full of Apex and asking for people like, please play with me. It's wild to see it overnight like that.
Yeah,
it sure is.
They just like that slide button. You can slide down hills and it makes mud noises if you're in the mud. It's oh my god.
Sliding down a hill and shooting just the machine pistol was one of the best feeling shooter things I've had in a game in a long time, in a first person shooter. It's sort of like Apex sort of feels to me like what Call of Duty's Blackout mode was trying to be, if that makes sense. Like, it feels very similar, but better. Like, so, I mean, I haven't played Blackout since probably November, and I keep looking at it and thinking, like, I should play some of that Call of Duty Battle Royale again. That seemed good, but Apex seems way better.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for talking about the big game.
Oh, yeah, that was on Sunday as well. I hear it wasn't very good, the Super Bowl, but the big game that we can't say the name of officially on Video Game Choo Choo.
You literally just said the Super Bowl.
Oh, I was talking about that's an entirely different
No, Solon
production.
was talking about the $1 million game, the XFL's Vince McMahon.
Hey, quick aside, I just need to holler every time I hear about the XFL. On Tuesday, I was at SmackDown Live, and midway through the show, they lowered the lights for commercial and showed on the big screen a big commercial for the XFL, which, as we already knew, has announced that Seattle will have an XFL team officially before the Seattle Supersonics come back to Seattle.
Okay. I'm sorry?
The entire stadium was so upset because it reminded all of us at once that we do not have an NBA team because it was taken from us by billionaires.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a bunch of people in Everett so upset inside of a hockey arena.
Everyone just,
Like, without Seattle Supersonics, we can't go watch wrestling at the Key Arena because they don't go to the Key Arena because there's not a money draw there because there's no Seattle Supersonics. Mm-hmm. Like, it's... We are in this ice arena in Everett knowing that we're here because of this thing that happened like a decade ago. Sorry. All right, I'm done.
You're good.
XFL's coming.
Yeah.
It's the $1 million game's happening. And
it sounds like you're excited.
I'm excited.
So we got some pretty weird news this week. First off, I don't know if either of you are familiar with Grand Blue Fantasy.
I'm familiar with seeing people like you and Rose tweet about it.
You'd be surprised because I actually don't know jack shit about it. I don't know Grand Blue Fantasy.
I know it's a gacha game, basically.
It is a gacha game.
I know it's like the gacha game, and also I think from the pictures, very titty.
I mean, all gacha games are very titty, but honestly, from what I've seen, Grand Blue is pretty 50-50. Like, there's a lot of hot boys in Grand Blue from what I've seen, too. So, if you're...
That would really explain why it's so popular, then.
You can really pick your poison with that one. I never played Grand Blue. I never got into it. I'm completely off gacha games. I'm doing real life gacha now with trading cards.
Real life gacha.
Healthier or not.
More social, less social.
I mean, it is more social. Anyway, that's not the point.
I want to get into that later.
The point is that Platinum Games was working with Cygames, and Cygames is the developer of Grand Blue. Platinum Games was working with them on a character action RPG called Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. They've announced that it's coming over here, which is pretty crazy because Grand Blue has an audience, but it doesn't have as big an audience as a lot of other gacha games do. Like Fire Emblem is huge over here, Fate is huge over here. Not so much with Grand Blue, but they're still bringing it out over here. The crazy thing is, though, is Platinum is no longer working on it. The game is not done, but Platinum's not working on it anymore.
What? Like they just hung up their hats and said, "No, you could have it," or like you have to now make a different game, or
it sounds like they had a contract with Cygames to work on this game, and that contract ran out, and I guess Cygames didn't re-up it.
Okay. Yeah.
Cygames released a statement. The main point of it, I'm just going to read this from the Polygon article. Going forward, Cygames will handle 100% of development internally. Cygames would like to assure everyone looking forward to the game that we remain committed to delivering a game that meets the expectation of our fan base and gamers everywhere. And then, shortly after, Platinum had their own statement. While we, Platinum Games, have been working with Cygames in co-development of the upcoming console game Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, we officially announce our contract on the project has come to an end. Development will still continue, but will be handled solely by Cygames' internal dev team. We would like to express our thanks to everyone, blah, 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 blah. It's really weird that not only has that happened, but Platinum is not on the website anymore. Like, they're not, listed as one of the developers of the game anymore. So, I mean, who knows if they're even going to be, on the box or anything like that? I mean...
Yeah, are those guys going to get credited for their work?
I mean, I know that it's a little different in Japan with how that works. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that, the credits of Mega Man, the people had to call themselves Yuki-chan's Papa instead of their actual name because they weren't allowed to do that. And I know that's a long time in video games, but who knows if Cygames has the legal say-so to just not have to really credit Platinum on it. It's so bizarre. Who knows what's going on with that, but I don't know. I mean, they got paid for what they worked on.
Yep.
The contract just ended, and I mean, they have other stuff that they're working on. They're making Bayo 3. They have Babylon's Fall, that game that they're making a Square, and World of Demons, which I'm not actually familiar with World of Demons. But and then there's another Grand Blue game coming out. There's that Grand Blue Fantasy Versus that Arc System Works is making, and I mean, who fucking knows if they're gonna reach the finish line with that game at this point. Who knows if they're going to get kicked off halfway through.
Yeah, this sounds like a bad breakup.
It's very strange, but yeah, like that game seemed almost done. Like they showed that game with Platinum Games like a month ago at a big Grand Blue Fantasy event, and now the contract's up and Platinum's not involved with it anymore. It's so bizarre.
Platinum's just got this big old box of Grand Blue action figures, and they're like, "Hey, you better pick this up, or I'm gonna throw it away." And then Grand Blue's like, "Oh. All right, I'll just take it. I'm done."
It's weird. And then, real quick, I wanted to mention some rumors that are bustling around. Real quick. I don't want to discuss it too heavily. I just kind of want to throw it out there. Pretty much a little while after you hear this, there's probably going to be a Nintendo Direct. A person on Reset Era who goes by King Zell, who has really good track record about Nintendo stuff, like leaked The World Ends With You port, leaked that they were going to announce Animal Crossing for Switch, a bunch of stuff recently, just a really good track record. So they said that February 13th there will be a Nintendo Direct, and mentioned some stuff that will most likely be getting announced this year. They implied heavily that Metroid Prime Trilogy, that port to the Switch, will be coming out. Well, they'll be announcing it during this Direct. And then
good.
Yeah, finally. And then they said that throughout the year, we'll probably see a port of Pikmin 3 to the Switch, which, that's a good one. Mario Maker 2, a Box Boy game, which we don't know if this is like maybe a port of the 3 games that were on the 3DS, or if this is a new one. They said that, of course, there will be Pokemon, like no shit. And finally, a 2D Zelda.
Huh.
Because there's been a lot of rumors of a new 2D Zelda. So we'll see.
Hey, that sounds nice.
They also said that there's going to be a lot of Japanese third-party titles as well, I guess, because of how much the Switch has been selling. A lot of third parties are going to be making games. They didn't say that if these were going to be new games or ports. I'm going to guess there's probably going to be a lot of ports, but, we'll see. But yeah, I guess by this time next week, we're going to be talking about what happened on the Nintendo Direct, and it'll probably include a Metroid Prime Trilogy port. So that's neat.
Heck yeah.
Solon, did you want to talk about the other news that you heard about? Because this is maybe the wildest and maybe the most unfortunate news that occurred this past week.
Yeah, I've got some interesting YouTuber news. News from Solon. You know what we do here. Machinima this week shuttered. They have shut the doors. They've closed down. They've said sayonara to Machinima, and it's. There was a joke that I think it was Scott was the first person I saw it from, who just says the end of an era, and I was like, damn, it really is the end of an era, because Machinima was the company for YouTube for at least maybe 2 or 3 years. And I remember when I just started out, like, that was the goal of people who were on YouTube in my position. Like, we would look up to Machinima and be like, if we make it there, we've made it. We're successful and we're protected. In as much as YouTube can protect anything, it's a big multi-channel network, kind of scummy, but like that was the goal. And if you don't know Machinima, they've been around since I think 2010 or something. Probably much longer than that. 2000 exactly, the turn of the century. But they had Rooster Teeth was probably their biggest success story, was Rooster Teeth coming from them, and then building Machinima as an idea into its own word, where you would create video out of video games. It was very revolutionary to the YouTube landscape that was young at the time, and just video creation at all. And you really don't get like the birth of Let's Plays as a medium without Machinima. You can't really like talk about how these big structures manage to protect Let's Playing, because that's where this came from. Machinima turned into it was subsumed by full screen, which after Machinima started losing its luster, full screen became like the thing to reach for. Like, oh, if I made it to full screen, that means I made it, because that's where all the cool people are. Since YouTube is all about like trying to be in a family that can protect you, a family of other content creators, there's always going to be these big multi-channel networks that's like, if I could get into there with those people, they'll protect me, and that means I made it. And so, Machinima being gone is just kind of shakes me a little bit more than I kind of thought it would. And it wasn't like a surprise necessarily. What was a surprise was that they did shut it down immediately, like any company does. And so there were, as reported by Polygon and other sources, 81 people who lost their jobs. Those are going to be 81 people who are really going to be looked for by other multi-channel networks. I have the utmost confidence that they'll land on their feet. I had one I talked to, this was right before PAX West, that put on a whole presentation trying to get VC support for Machinima, that was trying to introduce the new wave of Machinima as content creators and just being content creator focused, and about being all about diversity in gaming, and how we can game in different ways. It was a really a cool presentation that I don't think it really found its mark. And so it wasn't necessarily a surprise even to me that this was going to happen. But yeah, I'm very confident that all of those folks should be able to find similar positions in other multi-channel networks and other YouTube structures and elsewhere. I mean, everyone needs community management people. So, yeah.
Sure, and like you said, it wasn't a surprise, because I think it was about a week or two ago that suddenly, like, they just shut down all their YouTube channels. Like, everything was just gone a couple of weeks ago.
That's a tell.
Yeah, and everyone was like, what the fuck is going on at Machinima? Like, you know, like, is it shutting down? Like, is it just gone now? So the fact that it took another week or two after them just, like, deleting all their channels and all that old content, or I think it was maybe they made it all private. I can't remember exactly, but whatever they did, like, you could not access any of the old Machinima content. So I'm very sure that it's privatized. They made all the videos private because I do know that all of the content that Machinima created, those have now been reverted to their respective creators. Right.
So all of the individuals who made stuff for Machinima, they have the rights to those videos now that Machinima's over.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It was just like one of those things that, you know, suddenly you're looking at Twitter and you see a Reset Era thread come up that's like, oh, Machinima's just down. You can't watch any of Machinima videos anymore. And it was like, is that it for them? Are they closed down? Like, so there's a part of me that wonders, like, did they try and secure some last minute VC or something to stay open? Like, but why would you, you know, private all those videos and take them all, like, away from people to be able to see them if you didn't already know that, like, no, this is it for us, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It seems like they kind of did it in the wrong order, you know?
Yeah. I've got this line here. I'm just on their Wikipedia page, and this line that is just never going to be really in the mind's eye anymore, but it just says, the term machinima was originally machinima, a portmanteau of machine and cinema. And I'm like, I remember all the news reports trying to describe machinima and saying that exact thing. A portmanteau of machine and cinema.
So some breaking news right as we're recording this. I guess mass layoffs are hitting Activision Blizzard.
Oh no.
Really?
No, it's happening? Yep. It's happening right now?
I guess they're going to officially announce it on Tuesday. But yeah, not much news beyond that. It just says that hundreds of jobs will be lost.
Jesus.
And of course, this is right after, about a month after the new CFO got about $15 million in bonuses. So,
Yep.
Whoa. Okay.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. And, like, it's such weird timing for Activision, too, like, because they just divested from Bungie and from Destiny, and, like, now they're laying off all these people, and, you know, like Solon was saying earlier, a few weeks ago, we were kind of, like, sitting here being like, what the fuck are any of these, you know, AAA publishers doing? And Activision was kind of one of the ones we really signaled out as, like, what do they have, you know? Like,
yep.
So...
Overwatch isn't going anywhere right now at all.
Call of Duty.
Everything else that Blizzard is doing, they're not really doing anything. Like you just said, Call of Duty wasn't as big as it normally is.
Yeah, they just shut down development on Heroes of the Storm, you know.
Yeah, like, they're not doing anything. So, like, it technically makes sense, but also, like, they didn't need to do this. They could have not given one man $15 million for sitting in a room.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, I don't know. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's fucking disgusting. I am at least glad that Bungie got themselves out of there, so they weren't forced to fire anybody. Because it sounds like Bungie didn't let anybody go after they got away from Activision.
Well, they were never
so that's good.
Bungie were never owned by Activision. They were always independent. They just had Activision was just the publisher of Destiny. They never owned Bungie, right?
I mean,
that's correct.
They didn't, but at the same time, I would hate for Activision to impose things onto Bungie that makes their money flow smaller or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if Activision
it's still for the best.
Yeah, like if Activision had said, right, we're pulling all this money, then that would probably have forced layoffs on Bungie's part, but you know, Activision would not have been able to say, go lay off 200 people or whatever, you know.
For sure.
But yeah, this is shitty.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
It's gross. It's gross. We'll say it until the cows come home. Games need to unionize, and hopefully this... I mean, it shouldn't come at the cost of people losing their lives, but I hope that things like this continuing to happen push it forward more and more, because it needs to happen sooner than later.
Yeah.
In better news, I heard just now that there is a unionization effort in beer in California. The largest independent beer distributor is unionizing.
Oh,
nice.
Well, that's something.
You know, SoCal is all about those IPAs, so if they're seeing that, I don't know. I think that could really help out a lot, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's darkest before dawn, I suppose. That's what you gotta... If that's what we have to tell ourselves, but... You know, I mean, steps are being taken, so hopefully that works.
Yeah.
I have an update on things.
Yes.
If you don't want to end on that note, on the breaking news note.
Real quick, let's hear what's some other stuff that's been going on.
Just a
with you.
fun, I don't know if you've been in the Sea of Thieves lately, but I am planning on going back, finally, because they just updated. And they updated the one thing that I hated the most out of Sea of Thieves, and that is the PvP combat.
Mm-hmm.
They are updating it because they're getting things together for a big arena combat push. They're going to make a specific PvP combat area where you can do actual sword fights with other pirates, stuff like that. And so they have to spruce up all the guns and weapons because they haven't touched them since launch. Very little have they touched them. And so there's always been a little bug that you could exploit where you can just shoot all of the weapons in your inventory at once and kill people instantly if you wanted to. And it does not change your reticle. There's no drop time between switching weapons. You can just switch weapon, shoot immediately and kill someone in 2 shots, which is probably not intended. But I was also scared they were never going to change that because, I mean, it's Sea of Thieves. That's not really, like, the combat isn't necessarily the biggest part of it, at least the person-to-person combat. So to see them come back to it and be like, hey, we have added animation to switching your weapons is like, oh, thank God you did this the simplest way possible. It's going to look really nice. And now I can play Sea of Thieves again without getting just ridiculously griefed in the most boring way possible. So that's my big Sea of Thieves update. I'm going back to the ocean.
All right. Well, thanks for the update, Solon.
Thanks.
That was a good one to leave off on. Do y'all want to go on to questions?
Sure.
Heck yeah.
All right. If you want to send in questions, go ahead and send them to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these fine folks. Gremlin Warren asks, describe the mouthfeel of the Fallout games from 1 through 4 and including New Vegas.
Oh, whoa, okay.
I don't think I know Fallout enough to really grasp at least the first two. Maybe I can help out with 3 in New Vegas at least.
So there's a lot more jagged edges to the first two.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you feel it in your mouth, it's like, chunky, cubic, like squares that I'm trying to chomp down on. So almost more like a Jolly Rancher kind of mouth feel, where it's like, oh, this is a delightful flavor that sure is shattering in my mouth right now.
Mm-hmm. If you're not careful, it just becomes razor sharp.
You gotta plan your licks real.
Don't want to get that stuck in your gums.
Ooh. Yep.
Yeah, well, I think Fallout 3 would be like a sour gummy. Like, you know, it's new, it's different, but it's softer than the old games, you know? Like, you're like, but then at the end of it, you're like, okay.
Yeah, you can see how you
it.
got from there to here, and this is something different.
Okay.
Where does that leave 4 in New Vegas, then?
4?
New Vegas is sand.
Sorry.
New Vegas tastes like sand.
Sure. Yeah.
Just lead.
Yeah.
Tastes like blood.
Yeah, and I would say 4 is like just the worst, like most bland, like oatmeal kind of texture that you've ever had in your life, because it's just, you know, it's just flavorless and familiar and uninspiring in every way.
Now, the nice thing is that all of these fun flavors, all of these things, their mouthfeels, you can dip them at any time in whatever flavor of pixie stick you want by modding them. Mm-hmm. So if you can't change the texture. You can only, dip it. That texture's still gonna stick. But you can at least change the flavor.
And Fallout 76 has, like, the texture of, like, when you gag and vomit comes up into your mouth.
Just the acid reflex, like, oh.
Yeah.
I glitched out trying to mouthfeel this one, and it's coming back up on me.
Yeah, you don't. It's when you don't throw up, but you like you almost do it. You're like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had that thing where you like have this like solid thing in your mouth and you bite into it and you realize it's just like hard acid that came from your own stomach and it's like super spicy and gross?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fallout 76.
There you go. All right.
The human experience.
Anonymous asks, is Mr. X Catholic?
Yes.
Whoa.
He has become Catholic.
Whoa.
He's...
Oh, like recently?
Yes.
How'd that journey go for him?
Well, he's big into, like, punishment and, like, that's pretty much it, I guess. He's very austere. He's a very, very angry man.
Yeah, he has to go and confess his sins. Mm-hmm. He's got to say 5 Our Fathers and 3 Hail Marys every time he punches Leon.
I could kind of see him walking around dressed like a priest, like with the just in a black suit with the collar. I could kind of see that.
Would he have a flat
That would be pretty
hat?
scary.
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really scary. Shulis asks, what's a funny arm that Nero could have in DMC5? I will say, before anyone says it, one of the arms in DMC5 is literally a vibrator arm, so you can't just say that.
Oh. I was gonna ask if they had a fun, guitar, but, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean, I think Dante has a guitar. I know Dante has a guitar.
Yeah. But a vibrator, okay. Yeah. Well, what's funnier than that, then? Go for it, Niall. Take it away. Just find anything that's funnier than a vibrator.
I got one. I got one.
Okay.
What kind of teledildonics does Nero have?
I don't know, but how about one where whenever he does a middle finger, it shoots out like a big middle finger, like the AVGN or something?
That's good.
That'd be pretty good.
What if he just had the AVGN as an arm?
It just goes ass, and the word ass flies out.
He has the AVGN as the arm, and the AVGN is holding in his own arms the sword or whatever.
He has two swords.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill these demons, pieces of shit!
So, if I know anything about this, which I don't, Nero's a Roman emperor or something, right? What if he just had a bust, an ancient Roman statue for an arm that he just hit people with?
Just a big vaporwave head.
Yes, just a vaporwave Nero. And it's just it's a statue of Nero. It could just be Nero, the Roman Emperor Nero, attached to his own damn self.
I could see that. Alright. Lucy from the Discord asks, Solon posted a picture of Goofy, Donald, and Mickey as the Three Musketeers, and asked which of us those are. So, which one of us is Goofy?
I'm Mickey.
Okay.
That way you have to decide between the other ones. Wait, shouldn't John be Mickey?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I feel like I've jumped the gun on this.
Whatever works.
I mean, you're the host. You're the person that, everyone associates.
I'm the mouse.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Machonsky
Niall,
mouse.
we have...
Machonsky mouse.
Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be Goofy or Donald?
I don't know. I feel like neither one is a great answer, honestly.
Well, I guess the answer, the question is, do you want to have pants on or not?
Oh.
Again, that's a tough one.
One's got a lot of pockets, and the other's got none.
I think I might go with the pockets then, because those are useful, I guess.
Oh, right, damn, so I wanted to be Goofy also.
Then you gotta be Donald. Calling your Donald. Holy shit, it's like he's here with us today. That's crazy.
God, but between that and Rose doing a Mickey Mouse voice last week, this has to stop. Kingdom Hearts is just poisoning your minds.
Anonymous asks, Crackdown 3 is out soon. Isn't that wild? It is.
That is wild.
So,
is that game actually going to come out?
It's out next week.
What?
Yeah, it's out on Friday next week.
I'm sure there's been tons of advertisements for this that have just completely missed me.
And
I didn't need them because every month or so I'm like, wait, a Crackdown 3 is coming out?
I don't think I've seen a single person talk about Crackdown 3. No, I haven't seen a single person outside of games websites write about it, and the last time I saw games websites write about it was about the cloud stuff a couple of weeks ago, and they were all like, it doesn't work. So, yeah,
I really am interested in Terry Crews's Wild Ride. I just don't know anything else about it. And I don't know anything about the Crackdown series because wasn't that a release game on the Xbox 360 or something?
It was early anyway, very early.
It was early, and a bunch of people bought it because it came with a demo for Halo 3.
That's right. That's what sold it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I played 20 minutes of the first Crackdown, and I was like, yeah, that's fine, I guess. But Like,
there's so many other games that have come out that have done Crackdown also.
Yeah.
Maybe even better than Crackdown did Crackdown.
Yeah, like...
I can think of multiple series.
Absolutely. Just go play Saints Row. They're porting Saints Row 3, I think 3 or 4 to the Switch. Like, just play Saints Row.
Yeah.
Just Cause,
yeah. Red Faction Guerrilla is sort of like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That should be part of Game Pass, right? I think. Because it's a Microsoft game, right? Crackdown.
It's a first party.
So I'll try it next week, I guess, maybe, and see how that is. But
wild.
Yeah, I can't believe it's actually coming out. Maybe, unless they pull it last second.
First party Xbox games have been just wild lately.
Yeah. God, Crackdown is coming out. God,
it really is.
It's like this generation's Duke Nukem Forever. You know, it's just been like, it feels like it's been in development for so long. When did they announce that game?
Nobody asked for it.
Yeah,
they announced it right when the Xbox One was announced. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Okay. So 7 years ago.
Almost. Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. Our last question this week.
Don't say this generation's Duke Nukem Forever ever again. That's horrible to think about, that time repeats itself like that.
Mm-hmm. Our last question here, and if you want to send one in, it's videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You don't gotta wait for when the podcast is recording. If you're just out and about and you think of something, hit us up. It's always open.
We'll answer your question.
Yeah. Harlequin Wheels asks, what would you want Nintendo to do for new Joy-Cons? I remember seeing those GameCube Joy-Con mock-ups over 2 years ago now, but now they still haven't done much besides the NES one. Also, what if Halo was on the Nintendo? Wouldn't that be fucked up?
Stop!
I guess we could touch on this first one, because that actually was another piece of news that we kind of glossed over because they didn't officially announce it. They're porting Xbox Live to, like, phones and also the Switch.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's gonna basically just be for, like, to make crossplay just a more standard experience. Mm-hmm. So, like, people can play Minecraft with people that are on the Xbox or on the phone, or maybe Fortnite. I don't know.
Oh, so you can have access to your friends list on...
Yes.
Yeah.
While you're on these other places.
Because doesn't it already do that with Minecraft on the Switch? So it's probably just expanding that. I don't have a Switch and I don't play Minecraft, so I don't know for sure. But from what I've heard, like, that functionality is already kind of there for Minecraft. So I guess they're just building it out further.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they're probably just making it a more of a standard experience, but I think they said they're going to talk about that at GDC.
Yes,
so we'll hear more.
That's where it was pulled from. Was it was like in the description of their GDC keynote or whatever, and then they just removed it after everyone saw it.
Does that mean you'll have like Xbox Live avatar creation that you can do on Nintendo?
I don't think so, but you know. And I don't think that Halo would be on Nintendo, but, you know, honestly, at this point, Nintendo and Microsoft are getting buddy-buddy. There's already, like, rumors that Banjo-Kazooie is going to be on the N64 Classic when they finally announce that. So,
Minecraft Steve coming to Smash. Prepare yourself.
Who fucking knows at this point? Like, anything could happen. But, as for the first question,
Joy-Cons. Yeah.
I would love for them to do new stuff for Joy-Cons. Those NES Joy-Con things, that was just okay. Like, I'm sure, there's that leaked stuff for the Super Nintendo stuff. I bet they'll announce the Super Nintendo games during this Nintendo Direct, so I'm sure they'll announce that they'll do Super Nintendo controllers as well. But yeah, I like the idea of putting the control scheme on the Joy-Con instead of just full on putting the controller on there. Mm-hmm. Like the GameCube would work the best for this, where you just have they just actually put the like A, B, X, Y from the GameCube on the right Joy-Con. The left Joy-Con has one thumbstick, and then like on the bottom of the right Joy-Con is the C stick. and then just have like just make it so it's like a GameCube. That would be an okay alternative, and I'm sure people would be more ready to buy that than just, oh hey, this is just an NES controller, but it's $60 when you can order one of those Bluetooth ones that are better from like 8-Bit Do, and those are Bluetooth, so they work with everything. Like you can hook those up to your PlayStation and like play like Shovel Knight with it or something like that, because Shovel Knight only needs like a couple of buttons. So you could have an NES controller, like a fan-made 8-Bit Do NES controller, and use it on other things other than the Switch. And
true.
No, it's just Nintendo needs to give more options, have a little bit more freedom, or else people are going to go for the cheaper option and the option that has more stuff on it. Yeah, more compatibility.
Yeah,
So,
I really, even before that, there's only one thing I want. I just want bigger Joy-Con. Switch XL.
you never know.
That's what I want. I just want it bigger. Or more fun colors.
Yeah. Custom colors, like with the Xbox controllers, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Those are gorgeous.
Yeah. Let people pick what colors they want and order like a custom variation. And change the colors of the buttons, too. Like, I would love to be like, oh, hey, I have like 2 nice like blue Joy-Cons and then like a nice like light purple for the buttons or something like that. Like, that would look nice. Something like that. Mm-hmm. Make it customizable. People will jump on that in a flash, no question. All right. Well, that should do it for this week's show. Do either of you have anything that you want to mention before we get going? No?
I'm just having a great February. I hope everyone else is too.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Let's keep making February good. Let's do that. Let's make February a good month. But thank you all for listening. Everyone listening definitely helps make Chooch a good site. So thank you for that. If you want to follow us, it's at VGChoochoo on Twitter, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com on Tumblr, and come visit us on Discord. It's thegamezone.zone. There's a lot of people in there playing Apex Legends. If you want to play Apex Legends, that's a good, friendly place to meet some good people to play that game. We have like at least one squad every night. So come on in, play some Apex Legends. Everyone's super friendly. Mm-hmm. And talented at it, right, too?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm talented. I'm really talented. I'm getting better. I'm planning on a win coming up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. I'm sure you will.
I was going to do Sundays with Solon again. I was going to pick that back up, the live stream on Sundays. And I was going to pick it up with like Smash, or maybe I was going to pick it up with Anthem. But now it's just like, okay, there's no question. Apex, Sunday morning, like that's just what's going to happen. Have some breakfast and let's go drop somewhere, friends.
So you'll probably be doing that as this episode drops, I guess.
You'll probably see me there.
Yeah.
So if the snow doesn't let up either, I'm not going to have school, so it's going to be like, well, what do I do? I guess I'm dropping.
All right, and also, if you want to support us, which I know you do because you love this podcast, go to patreon.com/VGCC. If you donate just $1, you can get 1 week early episodes of Chuchigatari Unlimited Trainworks, our expertise level anime podcast, where we talk about anime, but only with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You can listen to the episode about Serial Experiments Lane right now if you just drop that $1. It's 50 cents an episode. That's crazy. And you know what? That value is only going to get better because there's always something in the works.
There is.
No?
There's something very, very big in the works. It should. I think it'll start coming out maybe before the end of this month. Maybe early next month, but
I got chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, we've been in the lab working very hard on something, so hopefully people will enjoy that.
I'm very excited about that. And real quick, I would also like to thank Melt Channel / Magic Circuit for our theme song, Crush, off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to more Melt Channel, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com. And if you want to listen to their new stuff, it's on Spotify under Magic Circuit. So go ahead and search that up and listen to some real good tunes. And that'll do it for this week's episode. We'll see you next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long.